Paul Heyman calls out the Emmy Awards for not acknowledging the WWE. Jacob Fatu Backstabs Solo Sikoa. Corey Graves' backstage heat confirmed. Jade Cargill's shocking return. The WWE fumbled a massive opportunity with CM Punk. CM Punk insults Drew McIntyre for helping him recover from his injury. Mercedes Mone reacts to a WWE Hall of Famer's personal update. Stephanie McMahon spotted with the Bloodline. Let's dive right in. Jacob Fatu Backstabs Solo Sikoa. Royal Rumble is WWE's first big premium live event of the year, officially marking the onset of WrestleMania season. Triple H is leaving no stone unturned to make it a star-studded extravaganza this year. Over the years, Royal Rumble has witnessed some of the most jaw-dropping surprises and shockers, including betrayals that left fans utterly bewildered. The same can be expected this year, and why not? The Triple H-led regime is known for delivering stunning surprises. That being said, the company could be poised to take fans on a roller coaster ride of emotions at the impending spectacle. The WWE Universe might see some major treachery and heartbreaking moments in Lucas Oil Stadium this Saturday. Number 1. Jacob Fatu could backstab Solo Sikoa. The relationship between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa has been in a precarious state ever since the latter walked away from his stablemates on SmackDown without uttering a word. Both the new Bloodline members are expected to enter the Men's Royal Rumble match this year, where their relationship may take the final blow. Fatu may turn his back on his master during the match, eliminating Sikoa from the contest. But why would he do that? It could be because the Samoan werewolf has no reason to obey Solo Sikoa now that the latter is no longer the tribal chief. Besides, the street champion also lost the custody of the revered Ula Fala, which arguably made him powerless. Number 2. Bianca Belair may betray Jade Cargill at Royal Rumble. One of the betrayals potentially looming on the horizon is Bianca Belair backstabbing Jade Cargill. The Storm is rumored to return at the Women's Royal Rumble match amid the speculation of her mysterious attacker. However, Belair could reveal herself as the mastermind behind the attack, turning her back on Cargill during the match. This would be an intriguing sight for the fans. The EST backstabbing Big Jade at the Rumble could eventually lead to their highly anticipated WrestleMania match. WWE has a very good opportunity to showcase that angle this weekend to sow the seeds of the dream match between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Number 3. Seth Rollins could turn his back on Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Seth Rollins has been in a dilemma lately against the OG Bloodline members. On the one hand lies his friendship with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, while on the other, his disdain for Roman Reigns remains. Amid this predicament, Drew McIntyre attempted to taint his mind on Raw, but to no avail. Karrion Kross also tried to evoke Rollins' inner demons of late. It could all come to fruition at Royal Rumble when the visionary may finally snap. There is a good possibility that Seth Rollins could turn heel this Saturday, and the OG Bloodline members may burn in his wrath. The 39-year-old could betray his good friends, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, eliminating both members from the Men's Royal Rumble match. Number 4. Randy Orton might take out Cody Rhodes post-match. Cody Rhodes is set to compete against Kevin Owens in a ladder match at Royal Rumble. Although he is expected to emerge victorious, Saturday night may still end up being a nightmare for the American Nightmare. Following the match, Owens could unleash a vicious attack on Rhodes to exact revenge for his potential loss. However, Randy Orton is likely to make a shocking return and come to the aid of his friend. Just when things appear fine, the Viper could hit Cody Rhodes with an RKO out of nowhere, leaving the entire arena stunned in silence. The murmurs of this betrayal have been going on for quite some time now, and it could finally come to fruition at Royal Rumble. Number 1. Paul Heyman may betray Roman Reigns to fulfill CM Punk's favor. The biggest betrayal that might happen at Royal Rumble 2025 is Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns. The OTC and CM Punk could be the last two survivors in the Men's Rumble match. It could be that very moment when Punk decides to use his trump card, the favor that Heyman owes him for helping the OG Bloodline at Survivor Series, War Games. The favor could be such that if he and Reigns ended up being the final two contestants in the match, the Wiseman would help him win the match. Should the moment come, Paul Heyman may have no other choice but to fulfill his promise to the best in the world. In a shocking turn of events, Heyman could step into the ring apron, sobbing with guilt and dragging the OTC's attention. Just when Roman Reigns would be left confused at the sight unfolding in front of him, CM Punk, aware of the situation, could throw him over the top rope to win the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. A cold act of treachery from the Wiseman to the tribal chief could become the biggest highlight of the night this weekend. Corey Graves' backstage heat confirmed. A top WWE name has revealed in a recent edition of his podcast that he isn't cool with Corey Graves following the latest events involving the commentator. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T wasn't happy with Graves' tweet expressing his frustration over being removed from the main roster. Graves was recently moved to NXT after a lengthy stint on the main roster. He wasn't happy with the move and expressed his anger on social media in a now-deleted post. On his Hall of Fame podcast, WWE NXT commentator Booker T opened up about the controversy surrounding Corey Graves and made it known that he is not cool with him. We're not cool. Not cool at all. I didn't like the tweet. I didn't tell him I didn't like it, but I'm sure there perhaps will come a time when I might say it. He wasn't talking to me, wasn't talking about me, so therefore that's out of my pay rate, you know what I mean? So I let the bosses handle that stuff. Graves poured his heart out in a post on X and revealed that he was told he wasn't famous enough. Here is the entirety of his post, which has since been deleted from X. Imagine chasing your dream, then being told, not deciding, that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life to something dream adjacent and being pretty awesome at it. And then, when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough for your own job. Just in case you've wondered where I've been, said Corey Graves. Jade Cargill's shocking return. A Hall of Famer has said that it's time for Jade Cargill to return soon and revealed which star he believes she'll attack immediately. The star spoke about it on a recent podcast appearance. On the most recent edition of Sportskeeda WrestleBinge's The Wrestling Time Machine, featuring Mac Davis and Teddy Long, NWA Hall of Famer Bill Apter predicted that Jade Cargill would soon return to the ring to attack Naomi. Bill Apter felt that of all the people who could return at the Royal Rumble, Jade Cargill's comeback made the most sense. He spoke about how she would come back and beat up the woman who left her unconscious on the hood of a car. He also predicted that she would immediately go after Naomi, blaming her for being the one who attacked. She's going to shock the world by coming back and beating up the woman she believes beat her up and caused her to stay out. And that's Jade Cargill. I think Jade coming back at the Royal Rumble and going right after Naomi thinks she's the one who caused her to be unconscious on that car. He said that when it came to Naomi getting handed the tag belt the moment Cargill was out of the equation, it was too much of a coincidence to be anything but the truth of what happened. All of a sudden, Naomi gets handed the tag team belt along with Bianca, who needs another partner. Oh, I'll take it. That seems very convenient, doesn't it? The WWE fumbled a massive opportunity with CM Punk. CM Punk is undoubtedly one of the biggest names in WWE right now, if not the entire pro wrestling business. However, wrestling veteran Vince Russo said that even stars of his caliber are not being utilized well. In a recent promo segment, the Second City Saint was seen blurting out an apparently unscripted line about Hulk Hogan. During his intense monologue regarding his plans for the Royal Rumble, he declared that he would even toss out Hulk Hogan if the latter entered the match. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Outlaws, Vince Russo explained that this was a great opportunity for WWE to capitalize on the current heat against Hogan and bring him in. He said, "If I am writing, and I am booking, and I am sitting there and I am listening to CM Punk's promo of last week, my mind is immediately going to, we gotta have Hulk back next week to see what Hulk has to say about CM Punk. Bro, it's that simple, it's that simple. You make that one phone call, you make that happen, you are gonna turn that show around on a dime." But they pass by these opportunities and give you the same old man. While many found Punk's remark about Hogan entertaining, Eric Bischoff holds a different view. Speaking on his 83 Weeks podcast, the WWE and WCW veteran stated, "I will argue that if Punk thinks he's going to get himself over as a babyface by taking shots at Hulk, creatively speaking in this scenario, because that's what we're talking about here, he might find himself surprised," Bischoff said. "That's happened before. Ask Rock. The situation is different here, obviously, but I think people are still reading way too much into one appearance and one reaction when I personally see other appearances and other reactions. They're the exact opposites." CM Punk insults Drew McIntyre for helping him recover from his injury. CM Punk thinks Drew McIntyre is a POS, but that's not exactly a big revelation. However, what might surprise you is just how McIntyre helped Punk recover from his injury in 2024. As you probably know, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk's feud started at the 2024 Royal Rumble, when McIntyre tore Punk's tricep before being eliminated by him anyway. This directly led to Punk's reported WrestleMania main event spot being taken away, and it also led to the feud of the year between the two stars. When asked by Jackie Redmond about his thoughts on Drew McIntyre in hindsight, CM Punk said that while he thinks he is a POS, He used the words that McIntyre said as fuel for his recovery. In essence, McIntyre's shots on Raw and social media turned out to be helpful to CM Punk during that period. I think Drew is a piece of S. I don't think that's a secret. I think if I put myself in his shoes, all the things he said, the best thing probably could have just ignored me. What he did was give me something to focus his rage on, and it ended up being a pretty big mistake for him. The older I get, I don't want to live in that headspace. When asked whether McIntyre was therapeutic for him for too long, because it can be dangerous and ugly, he continued, "Taking that home with you, just live life almost obsessed with this guy you hate. It's not the healthiest way to live. It definitely helped me when things were getting dark with the rehab, listening to doctors and maybe not listening to doctors." Drew McIntyre is another name entering the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match in what might just be the most stacked Rumble bout we've seen in years, if not decades. This week on Raw, Paul Heyman proudly announced that Roman Reigns is the cover star of WWE 2K25. He was interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who has been vocal about his goal to take out the Bloodline one by one and eventually get to Roman Reigns. However, when McIntyre came out to intimidate Paul Heyman, he told him to worry about his boy, and he meant CM Punk, not Roman Reigns. It's going to be interesting to see how things pan out if or when Punk and McIntyre cross paths in the 2025 Royal Rumble match. Not only will it get a great reaction due to their feud of the year in 2024, but it also stems from the fact that it began at the Rumble when McIntyre tore Punk's tricep. Mercedes Mone reacts to a WWE HOF's personal update. Several current and former WWE stars and personalities, including Mercedes Mone, FKA Sasha Banks, Edge, Adam Copeland, and Kofi Kingston, recently took to social media to react to Beth Phoenix's personal update. In her post, the legend sent an emotional message. Beth Phoenix is one of the greatest names to ever step inside the squared circle. She joined World Wrestling Entertainment in 2004 and started performing for the company's then developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW. After getting called up to the main roster, Phoenix made a huge name for herself by winning several titles, including the Divas Championship and the Women's Championship. The legend was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017. The 44-year-old recently took to Instagram to share that she had obtained the RYT 200 certificate after completing a 200-hour-long yoga teacher training. The former Divas champion also mentioned that it was beyond her wildest dreams, and she was now ready for a new chapter in her life. Several current and former WWE personalities reacted to Beth Phoenix's post by liking it, including her husband Edge, Mercedes Mone, Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest, Renee Paquette, Raquel Rodriguez, Dustin Rhodes, Tori Wilson, and others. Meanwhile, Natalya, Jessica Carr, and Brandi Rhodes left wholesome comments on it. During a recent edition of the Busted Open Radio, WWE veteran Tommy Dreamer said that he believed Beth Phoenix could draw many eyes to AEW's product if she shows up to help her husband Edge, Adam Copeland. Dreamer also mentioned that the Tony Khan-led promotion could eventually set up a match between Phoenix and Mercedes Mone. It's hard to think of mega matches that can help draw such a large crowd. We had talked about it before. If she's introduced the right way, Beth Phoenix showing up in AEW, helping out her husband, and then ships crossing in the night. Mercedes Mone and Beth Phoenix kinda having something backstage or something, which could lead to a bigger one-on-one. You never know what that could get to, Dreamer said. Stephanie McMahon spotted with the Bloodline. Stephanie McMahon recently took to social media to break her silence after her major announcement in partnership with WWE. The 48-year-old was the former co-CEO of the Stamford-based promotion. Stephanie has been a part of the pro wrestling world since 1998 and started her career with World Wrestling Entertainment under her father, Vince McMahon's wing. During her time in the company, the legend took on several backstage roles and even wrestled in a few matches. McMahon's last role within the company was that of the interim chairwoman and co-CEO, but she resigned in 2023. Since then, she has made several sporadic appearances in WWE. During a recent episode of The Pat McAfee Show, Stephanie McMahon revealed that she was going to host a new show called Stephanie's Places. The show will showcase the lives of some of the biggest WWE stars behind their on-screen characters. She also revealed that the show will be produced in partnership with Omaha Productions, ESPN, and WWE. Following this massive announcement, the former women's champion has now taken to her X to send a message. In her post, McMahon wrote that she loved shooting the show and was excited to share it with the world. Stephanie McMahon has also been spotted with Roman Reigns and the entire Bloodline. The pictures are from the trailer for her upcoming Stephanie's Places show. "I have loved every second of shooting this show. I can't wait to share it with the world on ESPN+, she wrote. On the same edition of The Pat McAfee Show, Stephanie McMahon discussed John Cena's last Royal Rumble, saying that it would be very meaningful. The former women's champion also mentioned that there might be lots of surprises in the Rumble that she doesn't doesn't know about. I think, John Cena competing in his last Royal Rumble ever is going to be really meaningful. I'm looking forward to Charlotte Flair's return to the ring. It's been way too long. Lots of surprises that I don't even know about, and if I did, I won't be allowed to say. But I don't know, truthfully. I mean, I know some things, but not all things, she said. Paul Heyman calls out the Emmy Awards for not acknowledging the WWE. Paul Heyman has opened up about whether WWE and its stars should be eligible to win an Emmy Award. Over the last few decades, the company has produced many captivating storylines. Many fans believe stars such as Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and even the Wiseman himself deserve an award for the portrayal of their characters. Fans also think WWE deserved one for the Bloodline storyline, which was the biggest thing in wrestling for over a year. Paul Heyman recently appeared on sports media with Richard Deitch and called out the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for not recognizing WWE as being eligible for an Emmy Award. How can they ignore that? If they can recognize Jerry Springer, if they can recognize Phil Donahue, if they can recognize Oprah. These were different genres in television that didn't apply back in earlier days. These genres became staples of television that changed the way television was done. And that's what we're doing right now, he said. He added, if you thumb your nose at it and say it's just professional wrestling, if it's just professional wrestling, then why is it #1 on Netflix? So it's more than that. I can't honestly tell you that I've seen a performance not Billy Bob and Landman, not Kevin Costner last year in Yellowstone or Idris Elba. I can't tell you I've seen anybody perform better than Roman Reigns. This year's Royal Rumble will be very interesting, as a lot of big names will be involved, including Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Jey Uso will also be in the bout, and he's related to the Tribal Chief. Paul Heyman owes the Second City Saint a favor, and the latter could make use of it on Saturday night. Punk wants to win the Rumble and finally headline WrestleMania. He could get the Wiseman to pull some strings and help him win the bout. However, it'd be complicated since Roman will also be there. It'll be interesting to see how things go.